and I can't wait to read it.
I didn't quite catch that.
Siri!
Please repeat it.
Siri, stop! There's a lot of books. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are right now. My name is Troy and welcome back to my booktube channel. Today, I am so excited to do this video because I got a crazy amount of books in December and today I'm going to be telling you all about them. So today is my massive December book haul, whatever you want to call it. So it's going to be just kind of like a speed round because I don't want this to be a 30-minute long video. I'm just going to quickly tell you what it's about, if I'm excited for it or not. So this pile is the books that I got from either Barnes & Nobles or Book Outlet, and then this is Christmas books. But before we do start, I just want to thank you guys so much for the support on this channel so far. It's been not even 2 weeks and we already have 370 subscribers, almost 2,000 views. Like, it is crazy and I could not thank you enough. All right, now let's jump into the video. Let's get talking about these books. Guys, I'm honestly just waiting for these books to fall. Okay, so first we're going to start with the books that I bought for myself from either Barnes & Nobles and Book Outlet. So the only two books that I got from Barnes & Nobles this month were A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas and A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. So this is the second two books of the series called A Court of Thorns and Roses. The first book is A Court of Thorns and Roses. And so I can't really say much about these books without spoiling the first, so I'm just going to tell you about the first one. So A Court of Thorns and Roses is a series where we're set in this village where this family is kind of impoverished and one of these three sisters in the family has to hunt for them, provide for them, so like, you know, get them food, get them money, etc. So she's out in the woods one day and she kills a wolf, which actually isn't a wolf, it's a high fae. So this treaty causes another fae male to come and kidnap her and take her to his own fairylands because she violated the treaty, and so she needs to live with Tamlin, her captor now, and also she's, you know, growing a romance for Tamlin, which is her captor. So like, it's just kind of an overall good series. Like, it just gets so much better. Like, that kind of summary sounds so bland, but what happens after in the second and third books is like, amazing. It's like, I highly recommend this if you're over 14 because there are some mature scenes in here. Okay, so now these are all the quick Book Outlet orders. I got all these books for like $50 because books are really cheap on Book Outlet. The first two books are kind of just miscellaneous. These were both in the adventure category in Book Outlet, so I wanted to kind of see those. This book is called The Explorer by Catherine Rundell. The first one is kind of like a survivor kind of book, like a plane crashes, they're on this new island in the Amazon jungle and they have to survive. It's like the book Hatchet where the plane just crashes and they have to survive with, you know, 3 other people. And then this book is called The Explorers, The Door in the Alley, and this is more of like a kind of real world adventure. So these characters are, you know, on this wild goose chase in this world, in like, you know, the city, like not so stranded or wild place. This is more of a city chase and a city adventure, so going places, finding out like clues, finding this treasure, and that's kind of like one of those. Next up is another kind of skinny book. It is The Leveler by Julia Durango. So this book is about this kind of virtual world, and the main character Nixie Barr is bounty hunter in this virtual world because she's frequently hired to like kind of save these kids, pull the kids out of the virtual reality because they're addicted or they're lost or something like that. So, you know, she's like the person that has to get kids out of this virtual world. And then billionaire like developer, game developer of this virtual world, his son gets lost, and so he hires Nixie to find his son. And so there's this kind of like mystery, there's like these twists like that, you know, like he thinks it's suicide, but then there's like this kidnapping, and she just needs to find out what the heck is happening and find this billionaire game developer's son. So this sounds like a really interesting concept, and I'm excited to read it, especially because it's sci-fi and I don't read much of that. Okay, so next up is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. So the premise of this book is that there are 3 Londons. There's the Red London, there's the Black London, and there is the Gray London, I believe. And then I guess each London has its own theme. So the Gray London is dirty, boring, tyrannical king. There's Red London, where life and magic are revered. And then White London, a city slowly being drained through magical war. A long time ago, there's a Black London, but no one speaks of that now. And so then Kel is the Red Traveler. So he's kind of like a messenger and like an ambassador between the Londons, but he's like the Red ambassador slash messenger. And he does have this trait about him. He's a smuggler, and so that makes his duties a little bit harder. And it's like it's kind of a dangerous hobby for him to have. have, and so he accidentally stumbles into this ordeal with Black London, and you know, he crazy like goose chase adventure through all these Londons because he did this one wrong thing, and it's just kind of going to be cool to see how each London has its own characteristics and how he has to escape each one. I think this is going to be a really good book. I'm really excited to read it. Next up is Riverkeep by Martin Stewart, and oh boy, this is a tough one. So I'm pretty sure this book is about, there's this river, right? And there's this one family that oversees the river. They clear away the ice, they, you know, sweep away the weeds, like they're tending for the river. So the main character is William, and so William's father is like the main person who takes care of the river, and then William retires from that job, and now William is to do it. But then something totally bad happens, which is the problem of the story, which is William's father drowns in the river, and they find that he has this like demon inside him, and he's been possessed. And so the whole thing is about, he needs to find that cure for his dad, and he goes on this adventure to find the cure. And so I think this is a good concept. It could be a good adventure novel as well. Got some rivers and some demons and some cures. It's gonna be fun. Next up is A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J Maas. I think I've literally officially collected every single Sarah J Maas book. Anyways, this is a novella for the series that I was talking about earlier, the Court of Thorns and Roses series that I was talking about earlier. And you know, again, I haven't even read the summary of this because I don't want to get spoiled for it, because I don't know when it takes place or anything about this book, but I'm so excited for it because, you know, I think it bridges the gap between this series and the next spin-off series, so that's gonna be really cool. I'm so hyped about this series and I can't wait to read it.
I didn't quite catch that.
Siri!
Please repeat it.
Siri, stop! Alright, the next book is The Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons, and this I think is more of a political epic fantasy novel, which I'm so excited about. So I'm gonna kind of just read off the summary to familiarize myself, because I never understand what this book is about. But there's this guy named Kieran, let's just call him K because I don't know how to pronounce that name. But K, he is a thief and a minstrel's son raised on tales of long lost princes and magnificent queens. But when he actually gets taken captive and he is forced to be a prince, he realizes that, you know, being a prince and being royal is not all that it shapes up to be. And so now he has to kind of take down this kingdom. He has to find a way out because he's practically a prisoner. I think I'm just really excited for this book because it might have some sort of adventure. I just really like fantasy and I like how this might go. I think this is either going to be a 5-star or 3-star or a 1-star. Like, I'm either going to love it, average, or hate it. Alright, so we're almost done with the book outlet books. So next up is We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Fazil. I don't know how to pronounce this, I'm so sorry. But this book looks so good. Look at the cover. So I just read this summary. The book is about two people, two legends of this world. So there's one that is the hunter who has to disguise herself as a man and feed her people. And then there is the Prince of Death named Nasir, and he assassinates those who don't, you know, agree with his father, and I think his father is the king. So yeah, he's just basically assassinating the people in his father's way. These two people are somehow intertwined. Basically, the girl is the hunter and is the good person. She goes on a quest. The boy, the Prince of Death, is sent to kill her. Their lives are suddenly intertwined, but there is an ancient evil stirring among this world, and, you know, plans might not go as planned. So I just think this might be a good book. This is gonna be definitely an adventure, a high fantasy. I'm so excited. Next up is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmer, and there is so much hype regarding this book. I can't even. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. There is a girl named Harper, and I think she has some sort of disease, cerebral palsy, which she is kidnapped into the... So yeah, there's this girl named Harper that gets kidnapped into this magical world. There's this guy named Prince Ren who has this curse, and I guess, you know, he's like the beast in the story, and he's like all cruel, and he's turned into a vicious beast, and somehow, you know, he needs to get her to kiss her or whatever, and then the curse is broken. So this is just a good Beauty and the Beast retelling that I'm really excited for in 2020. And last, from the book outlet side, is Again But Better by Christine Riccio, which, oh my gosh, this was my first read of 2020, and it was so amazing. This book is all about second chances, doing what you want, and this is exactly what I want in a book. This is literally my feelings every single day put into this book. Like, I wanted to start this YouTube channel because I wanted to control my own life. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to start over with my YouTube stuff. And this book itself was good too, not just the theme and the messages. And I literally could not put this book down. So when I opened it, it was hard for me to put down. Like, I love this book and I highly recommend it to you guys. I did do a reading vlog on this book and I will be getting that out to you in February according to my content calendar. And now we are going to start with the Christmas presents. So thank you to anyone who's watching that gave me these Christmas presents. So this is the Game of Thrones series. I don't really know how to explain it because I don't understand what goes on with this series, so I'm excited to learn more. But this is a high fantasy series, and oh my gosh, there's so many pages in the series. But anyways, this is a series about this world, and all I know about it, like literally, I'm not going to be telling you anything but this, but I know that the seasons can last for decades or for days. So like instead of like summer being 3 months, summer could be decades, or summer could be 3 days. This book is set in the winter, where it's been decades since it's been summer, so the winter has lasted for decades, and you know, they're trying to find something, and I think there's this war that goes on. I'm just so excited to learn more about this because I don't know anything about it. Okay, so we just got 10 more books. So the first one is Keeper of Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger. Oh wait, I got this from Book Outlet, so I don't know why I was on there, but anyways, it is about a 12-year-old girl named Sophie who finds out she's an elf, and she has to go to this new world, abandon her parents, and make a new life for herself. She has many adventures. The series is amazing. It's my top favorite series. I love it so much. But to be short, I just got this for my coworker Joey because he needed a new copy, and I kind of had to pay him back for something earlier that I did to one of his books. So yeah, I just need to get him a new copy, and it's not really for me, but I need to haul it anyways. Next up is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This was something that I've really been looking forward to, so I'm so happy that I got it. I don't really know much about it, but I know it has to do with superheroes. So, you know, the Renegades are a syndicate of prodigies, humans with extraordinary abilities, that's where the superpowers come, to emerge from the ruins of a crumpled society, and they are kind of like the rulers of the society. They emerged from, you know, the crumbling society and established rule, and they remain, you know, the symbol of hope. They're like the good guys, and they defeat the villains. And then we're following this girl named Nova who has a reason to hate the Renegades, and she's on a mission for revenge. And as she gets closer to her target for vengeance, she meets Adrian, who is a renegade boy who believes in justice, and Nova as well. So there's this kind of romance between Nova and this boy named Adrian, and also this quest kind of like, you know, defeat the Renegades. I think she might also have to change her mind. I'm really don't know much about this book, but I'm so excited for it. I mean, look at this cover, look at the premise, superpowers, extraordinary abilities, prodigies, renegades. I'm so excited. Okay, the next book is also by Marissa Meyer. It is a Cinder, the first book of the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. Now this is a Cinderella retelling in a kind of a modern world. So Cinderella is a cyborg now. She's like a robot. This takes place in New Beijing. Okay, so I guess they're on a different planet. A death plague ravages the population. Basically just a sci-fi version of Cinderella. You know, 16-year-old Cinder, a gifted mechanic, lives with her evil stepmother as a second-class citizen, but suddenly her life becomes suddenly intertwined by Prince Kai's, and you know, there's that romance between them, but there's also something about Cinder that others would kill for, and so there's this romance, there's this Cinderella retelling, there's sci-fi element, there's this plague, but there's also something in Cinder that others would kill her for and, you know, need information about. So this seems like a really good book. I can't wait to read it. I've always hated the cover, and I've always like just been appalled by it, and that's why I put this off for so long, but now I just realized like everyone else likes it and everyone else recommends it to me, so why not? Okay, the next book is The Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake, and this has been on my long TBR for so long. I've wanted to read it, and this book basically is this kind of war between three sisters. There's a sister named Mirabella, and she's able to spark flames or vicious storms with one snap of her fingers. Catherine is a poisoner who can ingest the deadliest poisons without so much as a stomachache. And then there's the last sister is named Arzano, a naturalist, and is said to have the ability to bloom the reddest rose and control the fiercest of lions. These three sisters are the princesses, and there can only be one queen, so they have to fight each other to the death. The night the sisters turn 16, the battle begins. This seems so good to me. Like, I'm so excited for it. Like, I'm all for Hunger Games, and I'm excited for this too. The next one is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This has also been super hype, so I'm excited to read it. So this book is about this girl that was kidnapped early, and her parents were murdered. She's kidnapped into the High Court of Fairy, and the girl that we're following, Jude, it's like when she's 10 years after she was kidnapped, she starts to realize that she's not fitting in with the court, and she just doesn't like the Fae Court, but she wants to belong in the Fae Court. There's some complex whatever, but I really like the A Court of Thorns and Roses series with the Fae, and so I think I'm loving Fae, the fairy books and stuff, so I'm gonna just continue on with this one. So yeah, we just have 4 more books to get over with, and then we'll get into the outro. So the next one is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. And this book is a murder mystery kind of thriller kind of deal, which I'm excited for because I've like never read one. So there's this academy named Ellingham Academy, and it's a famous private school in Vermont, and it was founded by an early 20th century tycoon for, you know, the best and brightest students around. But when Ellingham's wife and daughter are kidnapped, the only clue is a mocking riddle listing like kind of different signs of murder, and it's signed at the bottom, Truly Devious at the bottom. It's like one of the great unsolved crimes of, you know, history. And then the story takes place like a few years after this happens, and we're following a girl named Stevie Bell who is set on finding, you know, the answer to this case, but she kind of has to balance her school life and all of her hobbies. But then Truly Devious strikes again and launch into this case, and it's just like a really kind of cool riddle and like, you know, connecting ideas from the past and the present. Like, I think this is gonna be a great murder mystery kind of thriller kind of deal. I'm so excited to read it, and I will definitely review this for you guys on my channel when I do get to read it. Next up is The Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, and Robin Wasserman. This is a novella in the like Shadowhunter Chronicle series, so at the bottom you can see like all the other Shadowhunter books. I read The Mortal Instruments and The Infernal Devices, and I do want to get to read the Dark Artifices, but this I think I have to read first, I am aware, so I have to read this novella about Simon and the events after The Mortal Instruments and what happens to Simon at the end. Something crazy happens to Simon at the end of The Mortal Instruments, and we're just kind of following the aftermath of that. Again, this is just a novella about Simon, which I'm really excited for because Simon is a cool character. The next book that I got is The Unwanteds Quest, Dragon Ghost by Lisa McMahon. This is book 3 in the Unwanteds Quest series, and I must say I really don't know why I got this. I hated the ending of the second book, but you know what, I think I'm gonna give it another chance because the ending doesn't make up for the whole book, because I thought the second book in the series was very good. And again, I don't want to say too much about the ending of the last book because it just spoils everything. I can't say anything about this basically, but I'm excited to read this, and I hope it's better than the second one because oh my gosh. And then the last book that I got is Sarah J Maas's The Throne of Glass Collector's Edition. You guys thought I wasn't actually gonna get the Collector's Edition? Like, bruh, I'm a Throne of Glass fan, I have to get it. So basically it comes in this box, but you can see on the cover there's like this stag. It says right here Collector's Edition, and then on the back there's the sword of the series. And then we open it, and again we get this like kind of cool waterstone stag, and on the front I think there's the sword again, and it says it again. So I think this is super cool. And also, guess what? Like, we get a more detailed map of Leia, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but like on the original copy it just isn't that detailed or isn't that artistic, so that's fun. It's just so good because I've always loved the series, and I want to get every single collector's edition that there is, every single like bonus kind of thing that Sarah J Maas writes, because this series is my second favorite series. It got me into reading, got me into booktube, so I really enjoyed talking about all these books, and now we are gonna get into the outro. So I really hope you enjoyed this amazing book haul. Like, this is something like 30 books in 1 month. This is such like a big kind of leap in my book collection. I'm so happy with what December brought me in terms of books, and I really hope another month like this will be found in 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me talking about every single one of them. I had a great time doing it. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Make sure to leave that like because that does help me a lot to understand what you guys like and don't like. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want more book hauls like this, or you want some reading wrap-ups. Like, I'm gonna have a lot of stuff coming at you guys, so make sure to hit that subscribe button because I do have content going out every Wednesday and Saturday as of this point. Hit that notification bell. Make sure you actually do that because it does notify you when I do upload, and you can be first, or you can just get that content earlier than having to scroll through that subscription feed. Make sure to comment down below, what did you get in December? I would love to know. What do you want to get in 2020 in terms of books, or what is your opinion on some of the books that I got? Do you have any of these books? Like, I just want to know. I want to talk to you guys about books, so make sure to comment down below. So I think that wraps up everything. Again, thank you guys so much for the support. I hope you read lots, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!